All right, hello and welcome everybody. Happy Saturday. Chris, sorry, yeah. I am also wearing my kilt just so that there is no dispute. How's it going, YouTube? Everybody, thanks for coming to watch The Kilted. I'm Brandon, of course, with DaVinci's Alchemyst. With me always is my co-host, Chris, the Scented Swordsman. Chris, how you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for having me again, Brandon. Hi, everybody.
Sweet.
Thanks for dropping in.
So today we have a very special guest, as you can see. Tony from Fragdicted is joining us. Tony, how the hell are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on. I'm not just saying this for the camera, I'm honored because you know I love you guys. So when you first started doing this, I was like, I'm a little bit jealous of this. I need in on this action. And then you asked me, I was like, yes. Drink and fragrances, all my favorite things. All we need is cake and we'll have the perfect trio.
Absolutely. That would actually, we probably should have brought cake for in between because I plan on consuming quite a few today. So definitely. So today's episode 4 of the Kilted Fragrance Chat and Spirits Chat, we are celebrating World Whiskey Day today, first off. Second off, we are also going to be talking about our go-tos. Today we're talking about our go-to gym frags, what we like to wear to the gym, maybe right after the gym, that sort of a thing. And we're also going to talk about our go-to beverages, our beverages of choice, kind of the things that are just real easy picks. So, do you gentlemen have a beverage right now?
Yes, I
I'm
do.
about to pour one.
Oh, you better hurry up and pour that Baby Champs.
If it's pink and it's cocktail, I'm all over it.
Nice. Oh, well, while you're pouring, I'm going to get to the comments real quick. John Snow, Mr. Snow, how are you? Glad to see you here. Tara's in the house. Russell's in the house. Nick, hey, what's up, brother? Oh, here we go. Tara brings up a very good point. Where's Tony's kilt?
I'm very sorry. I did not come prepared with that. I can just not wear. Hey, who says I'm wearing any pants at all?
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Oh, shit. All right. Well, while we're getting settled in, Slainte, gentlemen, I would like to have a toast. Thank you, Tony, for joining Chris and I on the cast. Appreciate it. That didn't work out. Cheers, boys. And cheers to everybody in the crowd. Hopefully everybody's having a good evening. If it's evening where you're at, a good morning if it's morning where you're at, or a good afternoon. So again, cheers. I'm not upset.
Cheers.
So we will start off then. We'll talk about, since we're having a beverage, let's talk about our go-to drink. Now I've brought a couple ideas. Typically, if I go to like a restaurant or a bar or whatever, my first automatic, especially if I'm going to a bar, like a new cocktail bar, if I want to kind of see what the bartender is all about, the first thing I do is order an old fashioned for a couple reasons. One, it kind of shows whether or not the bartender is worth their salt, like if they know what they're doing, because it's an easy drink. It's a really easy drink to make, but it's a really easy drink to screw up if you don't know what you're doing. So it's 3 simple ingredients. It's like simple syrup, bitters, whiskey, and depending on how they make it, they can really, really screw it up. If it's great, then I'll try to order off their menu, and I'm like, okay, cool. Well, then we'll go with something that they're creating. So typically for me, first drink of the night usually is an old fashioned. How about you, Chris?
See, I'm the lazy one. My go-to is just to pick a good bourbon and get a good pour and go from there. So my favorite go-to is Woodford Reserve, just their basic one. So I'll go and get a double shot of that and sip it for 2 minutes, and then I'm ready for another one, and I'll pick another kind of bourbon. I don't usually do too many mixed drinks. Usually I just go through the bourbon list. There's a really fancy restaurant here. It's OBC, something bourbon country, and they have a bourbon list of like all the hard and rare to find bourbons that you can order just by the shot. So me and my wife will go there and spend way too much money just sampling bourbons. The food's good too, but you go for the bourbon.
Nice. Yeah, I introduced my girlfriend Dana last weekend to this place called the Hope House, and it is a bourbon joint. And you can start this thing. It's called the Bourbon Derby, and if you try 50 of their bourbons, then you get a little like a horseshoe plaque up on the wall with your name, and you get 10% off of their bourbon for life.
Oh shit! That's
awesome. Yeah, it's a pretty cool little like whiskey club type deal.
Yeah, this doesn't have that. That's just you come in and pay full price every time. So
oh well, hey, whatever works. Tony, so what's your first like usual go-to drink?
Right, I think I will mirror a lot of people in the UK when we do this. Wherever we go, whatever we do, unless you are a girl, sorry, no offense, you order a beer. You order a lager. That is just what we. I went on a stag do recently. I say recently, it was before the last lockdown, and we went to the southern coast. Went to Brighton, and I went with all lads, a few of them police officers as well, and I got there. There was 5 of us. And I got the first round. I asked everyone who wants what, and who wants what beer more specifically. And all 4 of them, none of them wanted a beer, which I've never been in a pub with my mates in my life. And that's happened ever. That's how popular it is. You walk in, we start on lager all the time. That's what we start on. So that's what I've been brought up with. That's what all my friends have always done. So I always order a lager. Always.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I think a lot of people will typically go for something lighter to start, let the evening kind of simmer or whatever.
Yeah. I did call them a bunch of girls. I then went to the bar with the ump, ordered the pint. Later on, we had a couple of other guys came in, and they were proper geezers. And I knew the minute I met them, they would be lager drinkers. And I was like, right, hooking onto these 2. This is testosterone.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I had my friends I could drink beer with.
Nice. Gotcha. Yeah, I think typically, it really kind of depends too. Like if I'm just going out specifically for the purpose of going out, then I'll go for like my old fashioned first. If I'm going to a place to drink a beer with my buddies, then usually it's the beer. But yeah, not often do I drink a lot of beer, but it's kind of depends.
So if you go and grab a beer, what beer are you gonna order, Brandon? You gonna go something light, or you gonna go Guinness? I go for Blue Moon. That is my basic go-to. Everybody has it. Is Blue Moon. I love Blue Moon.
I think beer for me. Javi's in the house. Fantastico. What's going on, Javi? So beer for me, I would say I typically start light, but I have a formula. If I'm going to a burger joint that I know has really good burgers, I always get a hazy IPA, like the house hazy IPA. Something about beer and hazy IPA. I can't drink anything higher than that, anything crazier than that. If I'm going to a proper pub and it's the right time of year, then yes, Guinness all the time. Like if I go to an Irish pub here, then like my favorite Irish pub here, which is TC O'Leary's, then yeah, it's Guinness. I don't drink anything but Guinness typically. But
since you mentioned the season, where do you stand on pumpkin ales?
Dude, I'm sorry. I think we've had this conversation before. Pumpkin ale is the most repellent thing that I've ever had. I don't know if it's just that I haven't had a good pumpkin ale. Tony, have you ever had a pumpkin ale?
No, I don't think I want to be fair.
But
yeah, because to me, pumpkin, honestly, there's 2 ways to go with pumpkin. It's in curry, which is friggin' fantastic, or it's in a pie. And it's always going to have, it's always going to have to me, it's going to have like a little spiciness to it, and I've created this pumpkin pie martini cocktail that is friggin' fantastic, but it's sweet. So to me, pumpkin kind of translates sweet and spicy. I just, that doesn't belong in a beer to me.
See, as soon as the weather gets chilly and it becomes fall, my basic white bitch comes out, and I want everything pumpkin. I want the pumpkin pie, I want the pumpkin coffee, I want the pumpkin beer, I want
dude, you and my sister would get along well because she does the same thing. Like, it's like everything she talks about is she's got her pumpkin spice latte, she's got her pumpkin muffins, dude, it's ridiculous.
But I draw the line at pumpkin roll. I don't like pumpkin roll. There's too much cream cheese there.
Fuck is wrong with you? You don't like pumpkin roll?
No, can't do it,
dude. Oh, yeah. Tony, have you had pumpkin roll? Like the lover of cake, have you had pumpkin roll?
No, we don't do pumpkin. We don't do many things pumpkin here, to be honest. We just carve them at Halloween, and that's about it. We don't really do pumpkin pie, which I think I'm missing out on, by the way. That is one thing I know I would like. I think I see Tara make one of those once, and I want that. I want some pumpkin pie. No, we don't really. Pumpkin isn't really a big thing. We'd put it in soup if we were going to use pumpkin. I think.
Yeah,
that's what we would use it for.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I have thought like in spice lattes at Halloween, that sort of thing as well. But no, I think that's pumpkin isn't really a big thing here.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it's ridiculous here for some people. But so like a pumpkin roll essentially is like, it's like a carrot cake, but it's all laid out thin, maybe like a half-inch thick, and then they put like a cream cheese sort of icing type thing on it, roll it all up, and then cut. It's like a Swiss roll.
Yeah.
But it's made with cream cheese and pumpkin stuff.
Yeah, I think I'd like that.
Oh, hey, Dana's here. What's up, babe?
Hey, Dana.
You joined it live. Thanks, babe. So, okay, yeah. I haven't made you that pumpkin cocktail yet. That seems odd that I haven't made that for you, because I know I've still got the vodka in the shelf. So, yeah, I'll get you that this fall for sure.
Blue Moon,
by the way.
Yeah, Taffy. Blue Moon does usually come with an orange. I usually have oranges, so if I'm drinking Blue Moon, I do squeeze put an orange on it. The reason it works so well with the pumpkin is because it's a wheat ale, so it's got some depth to it. It's got a little oomph, so it works with the pumpkin.
Gotcha. Well, I don't know. See, I'm more of the lighter beer person for sure. Like wheat. Do you like wheat beers, Tony?
I love wheat beers. Really love wheat beers, but I drink more lager, I would say.
Yeah. Just like lager is nice because it's mellow. It's especially good if you're mowing the lawn after work,
in a beer garden.
Or in a beer garden, yeah, absolutely.
Scorching hot day in a beer garden. Got to be cold as well.
That's an easy transition to the fragrances. If mowing your yard or taking care of your garden is your workout for the day, do you have a fragrance that you usually spray afterwards? Because every time I mow the grass, I spray Cryptomint every single time. It's my after mowing the lawn fragrance. It's just minty and patchouli and makes me feel fresh and clean. Mow the grass, take a shower, spray that on, and I know I'm good.
I have not had the pleasure of trying Cryptomint. I think that's one of those. Isn't that one of those ones that's like super discontinued and you can't find it anywhere? Or is that Orange Zest?
Zest, Ultra Zest is, yeah. I've got that one over there.
Corner. Yeah. So nice. Okay, so since we're still on the topic of spirits, before we shift too heavily into frags, let's talk about World Whiskey Day.
Ooh.
So, I know I kind of last minute threw that on you gentlemen, but if there was going to be a go-to whiskey, since we're talking go-tos, what would be, you Chris already said that Woodford Reserve, it's a good Kentucky boy thing to say. For sure. You know what? I love Woodford Reserve. I've got a bottle back here on the shelf. I think it's always in my arsenal at all times. Tony, have you had Woodford Reserve?
Yeah, I've got a bottle of Woodford's.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I really like it. I love any bourbon, really. It's for me easier than Scotch or Scottish whiskey. It's just a little bit easier. And my sweet tooth, it struggles sometimes with some really strong peaks. So I love whiskey, but I would choose a bourbon, I think, if I was drinking something of an evening and I wanted something warm in, I would usually pick a bourbon. And I prefer Irish whiskey as well over probably Scotch as well. My go-to would probably be Jameson's, if I'm being honest. As an easy boring, cheaper drink that you can just go to all the time, I would probably pick Jameson's.
Good choice, because I have to say that being the stereotypical Irish boy, I also, Jameson, this is something that's on my shelf all the time. If I run out of it, I go get it. It's an easy drink because it's a little bit lighter on the alcohol percentage. You can drink more of it. Typically, which I'll be making as soon as I'm done with my old fashioned. My second go-to beverage is, if I'm going out or whatever, if I'm going to a bar, I don't know, is a Gold Watch. Like if it's just like a dive bar or whatever, Gold Watch, which is Jameson, ginger ale, and lemon juice.
Sounds amazing.
Perfect on ice. It's fantastic.
Sounds lovely.
I would say if I was going to choose a go-to rye every time, Rittenhouse.
Okay.
Because that's a great mix and drink. And I'll just knock this one out of the way since I'm talking about my go-tos. And in this house, bourbon, it's always Buffalo Trace, and I don't screw around with the small bottles because
there you go. I like it.
This is a go-to. This is a go-to bourbon because it's always well made and it's cheaper, great for the price, and it's also super tasty. So,
if I'm gonna do a go-to rye, I want to say rare breed, Wild Turkey rare breed rye, but it's too expensive. So. Probably Woodford Reserve's rye. That one's really good. Knob Creek makes a really good rye. Let's see. As far as Scotch, everybody likes Jameson's. I go with Glenfiddich 12. I love the Glenfiddich 12. That one is just
for Scotch.
Yeah, for Scotch. That one just is super, super smooth and easy to drink. Definitely lower on the proof than all the bourbons that I've got, I think.
Gotcha. I'm actually curious. I don't know if John's still in the room or not, but I was messaging earlier with him and Kev about drinking World Whiskey Day or celebrating World Whiskey Day today. So, John, if you're still in the house, what are you drinking? I'm interested to know because I know you said you might have a drink. So
I'm drinking this one today, Crown Royal Rye, just to bring the Canadians into the World Whiskey Day. You know,
hey, perfect. Yeah. So you like Crown Royal? You like the Canadian whiskeys?
So this one, I like this one a lot. This one was my little brother gave me this one as a present. I was watching their dog while they had a baby in the hospital. So gave me a bottle of bourbon or bottle of whiskey to say thank you. And it's really, really smooth. I still think that I like the Knob Creek and Woodford better, but this one's, for a rye, it's really, really good.
So what did you bring, Tony? You mentioned that you were bringing something special for World Whiskey. I'm excited.
Yeah. Right. So I went shopping on the way home, to be honest. And the shopping, I went on the way home. I wanted to buy myself a Japanese whiskey. And they had a couple on offer as well. And I thought, I see something, just caught my eye. And amongst all those pretty bottles, there's something that caught my eye. It's not something I've tried. I've not tried any from this region. I told you guys already. I haven't told you what it is, but it's not Scottish. It's not Irish. It's not English either. It is
Penderyn.
Okay, so this is a Welsh whiskey.
Welsh.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And it's a single malt.
That's beautiful.
And it says it's got a Madeira finish. So it's when I opened it up, it smelled like Christmas cake. It's got raisins and it's got other things like nuances to it as well. But it says the tasting notes, aromas of cream coffee, rich fruit and raisins, crisp and finely rounded. Finish notes of tropical fruit, raisins and vanilla. The balance is oaky, vanilla tones, and dry sweetness. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Because the bottle is just gorgeous. It's a mantelpiece.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's great. Cover glass.
See the wings on it? It's like,
yeah.
And then it's got the inscriptions in the side. It says Welsh gold on the side there. Look.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Does that say something in Welsh on the back there?
Yeah.
Yep. My Welsh is crap, so I'm not going to be able to read that. I'm sorry.
No, I won't attempt to embarrass myself either. But how amazing does that bottle look?
Yeah, that looks fantastic. That looks really nice.
I'll be trying on stream after my gin and tonic to celebrate World Whiskey Day.
Perfect.
Penderin.
Perfect.
Penderin. So not one that I don't think that's well known, so I thought I'd try it.
No, never had that.
Yeah,
one.
I've never heard of it. That's definitely one to check out. I've had Scotch and Irish whiskey and stuff like that, but I've never had Welsh whiskey. So my whiskey that I'm bringing to World Whiskey Day is my infinity bottle. So this is something that I started probably 7 years ago, I think, something like that. So the idea of an infinity bottle is, and it's kind of a weird whiskey collector / drinker hobby thing. And that is when you get down to the leftings of a bottle, maybe like there's like an ounce left in a bottle or whatever, you pour it into another container. And then you blend a bunch of those little different bottles into one bottle to create your own like infinity bottle. So then you maybe wait a little bit, you take a glass pour off of this, and in a couple of months you've added like 2 or 3 more little bits of bottles, and then you keep sipping and stuff like that. And it's super interesting. I haven't drank anything off of this in a while, but I'm gonna do it now. I have not added any Scotch to this because I feel like the peat would not blend well. It would just overtake, the different nuances as far as the bourbon and the rye is concerned. But it's kind of been fun because there must be 40, 50 different kinds of whiskey that have gone into that bottle at some point. So it's become this altering, changing life force of its own, if that makes any sense.
That's a really cool idea, especially since at least, go ahead, Tony.
No, it's fine. I thought that was a great idea too. It's amazing.
Especially, at least in my opinion, a lot of the whiskeys and bourbons that I have, they taste different. After you've had the bottle open for a while, the flavors open up a little bit. It's a little more rich as compared to when you first open it. So an infinity bottle might get the best of all of that. So that's a cool idea.
Yeah, this is super spice. Like there's some good raisin tones in this. I couldn't tell you what everything is that's in it because I don't bloody remember. but I know that there's some leftover Woodford Reserve that got put in there, some leftover Rittenhouse. I think I may have thrown a little bit of Jameson. There's a bunch of single bottles that I have bought and haven't bought another bottle that were like $100 bottles or whatever, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's give it a shot. So this is rich as hell. I'm not gonna lie. This is probably a bad choice for the middle of the day.
If it weren't World Whiskey Day, I would agree with you. But that's the perfect choice.
I might get a little twisted off of that. All right, so let's shift focus to frags. Let's talk about frags since we're a bunch of frag heads. So, did you guys pick out a World whiskey based fragrance for today?
I did, and I didn't grab it.
No, I didn't. Bex did. Are you going to pick the fragrances to match your drinks? And no, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Bex is in the house. Hey, Bex.
Well, hello, Bex.
If you off the top of your head, Tony, if you could pick a whiskey.
Probably the most for me would be pure malt. That's just one that just comes straight to mind every time anyone says anything about a boozy fragrance. And you know what? It's just, there we go. It's just mass appealing. It's just easy to get on with. I think it smells really, really sexy as well. I think it smells manly, mass appealing, boozy. I really love that fragrance a lot. And I don't wear it enough. I wish I should do. I forget I've got it. be honest, it's poor, really. It doesn't sit at the forefront of my shelf, and I think it should, just so I can see it every day and remind myself it's there and wear it more.
Yeah, it's definitely. I like it. It's a good one. It's an easy, richer fall, winter, type of like whiskey based fragrance for sure. Yeah. That I really enjoy myself. What were you saying, Chris? Your choice?
I usually I wear the whiskey fragrances, at least the heavy ones like that. Like in the evening when I get home from work, they just are really mellow and help me settle down. So I picked Single Malt by Killian. I almost went with Pure Malt, and I almost went with CH-Vin Privé. That's probably the only whiskey fragrance that I usually wear like during the day on a regular basis during the fall is CH-Vin Privé. That one's just like a lighter, more bright whiskey. This one's like, you spray enough of this one on, people are going to think you're drunk walking down the street. I really love that about it. There's a good plum note in there too. There you go. Everybody needs. That's right. But yeah, this one
I haven't tried that yet. I'm super, super upset that I haven't tried that one.
I need to just make a list of all the things to send you, Brandon. I've got the decant bottles. I need to make a list.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Because that one's one that I've been wanting to get my nose on for a while. And I think it would be some good stuff. It's a good pick. That makes a lot of sense for sure, whiskey wise.
Does it stress me out? Yeah, most of the time. But in a good way. It's fine. It's fine. Most of the time.
I figured it was just all the dogs you had to deal with.
Yeah, mostly the dogs. I mean, sometimes I lump Hill into that category too, but mostly the dogs.
Yeah. Well, for me, like I pulled Pure Malt because that was kind of that was like, okay, definitely that's a good choice. I also, two of my favorite go-tos are Lodano Nero from Tiziana Terenzi.
Oh, I definitely need a bottle of that one still. It's been on my list for forever.
Yeah, it's really, there's a lot more going on than just a whiskey vibe on it, but it's friggin' good. It's rich, it's smoky. And then on the other hand, there was also Yasmina from Kajal. Let's get in there. There we go.
Bottles.
So this stuff is fantastic. It's got the whiskey vibe, but then it's so layered, and so it's just got so much going on. But the easy, and I think what I decided that I'm going to wear, because I haven't put on a frag yet today, because I've been went to the gym and got out of the gym, and ironically, speaking of gym fragrances, so I'm going to put on some Barawanda.
Oh, that's a good one.
Nazumato, because this is about as whiskey as you can get.
Great.
Yeah, I'm going to smell like I've been drinking, which I have. So it's okay.
I really thought one of you guys was going to grab Angel Share. So I didn't grab Angel Share, but that's another one I could have grabbed.
Tony, you've tried Angel Share, right?
Yeah. I got a sample from Kit Kat some time ago. And you know what? As I've tried it again, I'm not as impressed. The first time I wore it, just blew me away in terms of not smelt anything. It's very strong. I don't want to upset anyone, but as time's gone on, I've been put off it a little bit. It's almost like it's too much or a bit obnoxious to me. It's sort of super sweet. It's almost a little bit cloying. I was done with it the first couple of wears. I don't need it. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah. No, I honestly, I don't get a lot of whiskey vibe as much out of Angel Share as I do like a honey liqueur vibe. But that's just my nose, it's just, for me, it like you were saying, Tony, it is very sweet. It has a very rich sweetness to it. I don't feel like there's any way in hell I could wear it in this weather whatsoever. Not even in a cooler. Yeah, cooler nights, I don't think it would even work. I think it would probably choke me out a little bit, just as far as the stickiness. But I do love it in the winter. It's great in the winter. You're getting shit for your lack of love of Angel share, Tony. I think if Nigel was here, he'd probably share the sentiment because I think he really loves Angel share.
Yeah, I'm sure. I've just upset the whole of Fragcom.
How dare you? How dare you?
This is why you brought me on. I know it now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh shit. So, all right. So let's talk workout. Let's talk workout frags. So
okay.
We all respectively enjoy physical activity, whether it be, lifting weights, working out at the boxing gym, hitting the bag, doing whatever we like to do. You stink when you work out. So, a lot of people really love wearing frags to the gym or like right after the gym to kind of tone down the BO or depending on how bad, how gnarly your workout is. So let's talk about go-to gym fragrances. So Tony, I'm going to throw this one at you first. What do you have for an idea give us your first go-to gym frag? Do you wear fragrances typically when you go to the gym?
Yeah, I think firstly, I want to put a disclaimer in that you asked me to be on this as someone that goes to the gym, but I was really surprised you asked me. I thought he was going to ask Chris, to be honest. I enjoy working out, so you use the right expression. I just don't do it enough. But no, I've had. You have asked a good person though, because I have been to the boxing gym for the last 5-6 years, 2-3 days a week, every single week, sweating my tits off all the time. Thinking when I get home, which Bex can say she'll just stay away from me when I get home. So I do stink when I go to the gym because I just sweat so much, especially in the boxing gym. And I like very, very light fragrances, citrusy fragrances. So I've got a lot of obvious choices here, but that is what I would wear. So firstly, I'm going to go with a clone fragrance from, it's just very cheap. And because I want to spray a lot of it, I'm not going to use expensive stuff. So my first is a bit of, as you can see there. Now, based on the frosted glass, could you guess what that would be a representation of?
Is that I'm going to say, is that a Terre de Hermes clone?
No, it is a Acqua di Gio clone.
Oh.
Just very, very light and citrusy, just a touch of woodiness to it. And it is really lovely stuff. It's good.
Gotcha. Yeah, I bloody hate Acqua di Gio. I can't help it. I've got an aversion, like when cologne hits my skin, it creates problems for my nose. I can smell it on other people and it's fine. I can put it on test strips and it's fine, but once it hits my skin, my nose freaks out. So, but yeah, I've got a clone of that as well. Maybe I'll ship it to you because yeah, I just cannot. Oh crap. Okay, so Chris, what about you?
So again, yeah, everybody wants to be citrusy and fresh and clean smelling and, not break the bank with gym fragrances. So my first one, and I use this one a lot, is Mont Blanc Legend Spirit. And it's super light, just fresh, citrusy. There's aquatic notes. There's a little bit of pepper in here and a little bit of like cashmere. So it's got like a little bit of a different texture to my nose than most other just bright citruses. I think that's why I reach for this one more than the others. But yeah, it's just super easy to wear. It's, generic, clean fragrance, but it's got a little bit of extra character. And I think I paid $20 for this bottle and can spray the shit out of it and not worry about it. So yeah, Mont Blanc Legend Spirit.
Totally. I want to comment on a couple comments real fast. So Dan is saying boxing gear, worst smelling. Absolutely. I have my boxing gloves that I've only been using for a few months. They fucking stink. Oh my God. They're so terrible. Just reeking. And I'm just like, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do. I didn't realize my hands could create that much funk. And I wear wraps too. So it's like, dude, why are you not soaking up all my gross? It's not okay. It's totally not okay. And then I want to interject on what Chris said about Let's see if I can find his comment again. Dang it. Chris is in the house, by the way. Thanks for coming by, Chris. And
Hey, Chris.
he said interlude. I can't find the comment because I suck. But yeah, he said interlude. And I love that idea of like you go to the gym and be like, here you go, people. Enjoy what I'm throwing down. Yeah, pretty much. But I love the smell of interlude, so I wouldn't care. Not even a little bit. So I would say like typically for me, here's the weird thing about gym and fragrances. Like I don't always wear a fragrance when I go to the gym. It just kind of depends on where I'm at in the day. Typically, if I work out in the mornings before work, I will just come home and then throw on something that I'm going to wear for like my day frag at work or whatever. So it's not really, a gym centric fragrance, but especially on the weekends, I'll throw on something if I'm just going to be a while before I shower, after I get done with the gym or whatever, or like right after. So today, my gym frag actually was Endorse from Ulrich Lang, New York.
Nice.
So this is a nice, it's like an aromatic, it's like a woody aromatic. It's resinous, it's citric, and I feel like there's going to be a bit of a theme with the workout fragrances. That they're fresh, they're kind of citrus based, a little woody. But yeah, this actually, it's really nice and fresh and bright and citrus based and aromatic as hell. But when it kind of fades through the mid and into the dry down, it actually has a really nice sandalwood, cedarwood base to it. And I dig this one a lot. I mean, for me, it's not just a gym frag, but this is a really good one for gym.
Nice. That sounds interesting for sure.
Round 2 for you,
Tony.
I hope I'm not ruining this for you two, but I'm going to go with.
Yep.
Is that
Versace Fresh?
Yeah,
Versace Man Fresh?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's just. I'll tell you, there's a theme here of the ones I'm choosing as well, because none of them last like a great deal of time. And I think that's what I associate with going to the gym. I don't want to be sweaty citrus. It's not. So, I know I'm going to shower afterwards, but so for that reason, I'm not going to wear something that's going to last 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, go to the gym, come home and shower. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I tend to pick the stuff that I really enjoy wearing, but doesn't last that long. And it tends to be citrus-based fragrances that do that anyway. So Versace Man Fresh is, I think, an absolutely wonderful fragrance for the gym. A good couple of hours wearing from it. It seems to pop a little bit when your skin warms up as well, which I quite like. But it will never, ever choke anybody out. It's very pleasant for other people to smell around you. I just think it's a great fragrance for that environment. I really do.
I have to admit, I've never tried Versace Man Fresh.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, it's a nice one. It is just white. It lasts 20 minutes at most, but it's really fresh. Yeah.
Perfect for the gym.
Exactly. So I guess my second one is going to be from Etat Libre d'Orange, and it's You or Someone Like You. So on my skin, none of their fragrances last all that great. But this one's just a clean, citrusy mint fragrance. So that's what sets this one apart in my mind, is the mint. It's got some other, I think it has like anise or something in there too, but I don't really get much of that. But just really easy to spray on. And this one doesn't project off of my skin very much. So I can wear this one at the gym while I'm working out and not choke everybody out. So if you want something that doesn't smell like laundry detergent, but still clean, You or Someone Like You is a pretty good one, and it's still relatively cheap, $35-ish, something like that for that one. I think I took that one.
Yeah,
from Hill.
You can get those on discounters pretty cheap price. I think if you buy at retail, you're gonna throw out some coin, but you can usually find it on discounters. So
yeah, who wants to pay retail? Nothing.
If it's like like an indie house, then I don't mind throwing the coin at the independent perfumers, because they work their asses off to do what they're doing. But the bigger name brands, I'm like, no, gotta get that on the cheap. Because dude, no way. All right, so I will. Speaking of stuff that's not cheap, but I can't find any other situation where I like wearing it too, except for the gym, and it's not even made for that. It's made for the office. It's Office for Men.
Oh, okay.
And that is John's favorite fragrance in the whole wide world. I don't mind this. I know a lot of people hate the hell out of it. It's got the stigma with Jeremy and blah 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 blah. But honestly, it smells really decent. It's a little more bright synthetics than I like to typically wear on a constant basis. But it's great to me. It's great for the gym because like you were talking, the gym is one of those things where you don't want something that either you're gonna wear something that doesn't necessarily last a whole a lot of time. Damn it, sorry. Or with this, I don't want to wear this all day.
Yeah, nose fatigue to that one for sure.
It lasts quite a while, and it settles down into a not bad kind of woody, powdery fragrance, but. It's great. I think it's really, really great for the gym or like a bright, energetic situation. It's for whatever reason, it's this or occasionally if I wear it to work, being a construction worker, those are really the only two times that I ever wear it. But it's expensive as hell. And unless, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Jeremy is hawking this in his bikini right now. For buy one, get one free. So if you guys are interested this weekend in Fragrance One fragrances, they are buy one, get one free. But the cost is you have to look at Jeremy in his bikini. Some of you might like that.
That's too high.
He's a fit guy. He's a fit guy.
Think of all the cake that you could buy with that money. Just think of the cake.
That's a lot of cake.
That is a lot of cake. Yeah.
I mean, I got this buy one, get one, and the other bottle I dished out. I decanted out for Christmas gifts to family and friends. And yeah, it was expensive. So there's my next choice. Tony, what's your next choice? And before you get started, I do want to say that I feel you on the hardly work out part. Because let's be honest, with the COVID, when the pandemic all started, I think everybody's workout routine just went tits up.
That's when it started for me. It was. I was very, very fit before COVID. I was training as my last year as an amateur. I was training hard from the September right the way through till Christmas. I got ill at Christmas, had a break of 4 to 6 weeks, and then I trained probably February, and then March came, and then it just all went peaked on. And that was probably even at the age I was at 40 years old then, probably the fittest I've ever been. And now I'm probably the unfittest I've ever been. So it's pretty disgusted at myself really. But hey.
Well, don't feel disgusted. I mean, we're all feeling the effects for sure. It's been a pain in the ass year and a half. I don't know. It's a time suck. I don't even know what year it is anymore. Seriously.
Very true. Very true.
Oh God. So go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. They're good choices from Bex. Look at that. What a frackhead.
Yeah. I know. She tries to not. She tries to say she's not, but look at that creative.
Have you seen a comment there? You're still faff. Do you know what that means? That to me, I read fat as fuck.
No, fine as fuck. It's fine as fuck.
Right. Okay. I'm glad you clarified that. Thanks. Bro.
Yes. That means you might get lucky tonight, sir. Nice.
I was just thinking if you give her, a soapbox to stand on in the ring, she might give you a run for your money. She's been working out herself.
She is faff. Definitely faff.
Oh, fit as fuck. Okay, there you go, Ben.
No, she's gone the opposite to me completely. She's been brilliant. So well done to my wife for how well she's done. She's been brilliant. an inspiration because I've been useless. I've been completely opposite. But my third fragrance choice, this has got so much citrus in, it's unreal. But I really enjoy wearing it, and it is.
Oh yeah, Allure Sport. Okay.
It's the cologne version of it. Yeah. So the cologne version has literally every citrus note in: bergamot, lemon, mandarin, grapefruit. It has some fir resin. It has some aldehyde, so it's a little bit fizzy. It has some woods in it too. It is a brilliant skin fragrance. It lasts a little bit longer than the other two I've mentioned as well, and it doesn't. I don't know if you had any gym fragrances that have gone a little bit funky when they go a bit, when you've gone a bit sweaty and you've mixed it and it's gone. This is one that there's no danger of that happening. It's a little bit too strong in that department, if that makes sense. It will stay what it's meant to be, which is why I like it. So that is a really good workout fragrance, 100%.
So you mentioned that's because I have the Allure Sport Eau Extreme.
Yeah.
And I know that is a little sweeter, a little woodier. Do you feel like that Allure Sport cologne? Do you think that's kind of a unisex type of fragrance? Because just your description of it makes me feel like it could be, just as far as the fizziness.
I think any citrus could be. I really do. I think any citrus could be unisex. I think Versace Man Eau Fraiche could quite easily be on that. Aqua di Gio, very much like CK1 in that same realm, that sort of citrusy, slightly woody base. I think any woman could wear any of those. But this definitely a woman could wear 100% because I think the aldehydes make it a little bit fizzy, give it a little bit more interest to it. But this is nothing like Eau Extreme, or although it says Allure Sport on the thing there's nothing similar in there at all. This cologne version is much more in the realms of something like Dior Homme Cologne Sport or something like that. There's a lot of fragrances that are very similar. I seem to wear the same ones to the gym, but no, I'd recommend that. You can pick testers up cheap as well. Which is what this was. I think I picked it up for around. It's a 100ml bottle, and I think I picked it up on a Facebook seller selling testers for about £35-40. I think
that's not bad at all.
I think it retails at around £60, which would be about $80. So you can pick it up a lot cheaper though. So definitely a great one for the gym for me. That. Nice.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of those citruses definitely they can be super unisex because I know like Dana has what is that? It's Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue for women.
Yeah.
And it's which actually my next choice is going to be Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, the OG. But I've behind her back, I don't know if she noticed or not, I've sprayed it on a couple of times at her place because I like the apple note that's in it. It's like all that citrus and then some apple. I'm like, why don't you guys throw that in the dudes? Because the quote unquote dudes, because I love apple notes. So yeah, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, typical, doesn't last forever. It's a great light, musky in the tail end, has that kind of that soft woody dry down, but it's got those citrus notes in the front. It's kind of a no-brainer with this one. And the great thing about this is these are super, super cheap. Either on discounters or like I got this at a Walgreens for I think $20, and it's not that, I think it's only the 30 mil. 40, it's a 40 mil. So not a bad price.
Okay, so I knew we were all going to have a bunch of, not lasting very long citruses. So I picked a couple that are a little bit off the wall, but I wear them more like right after the gym. That way, after I get a shower and still want to smell clean and fresh. So I picked this one. This is Parfums de Marly Galloway, which nobody really talked about this one quite so much. It's like a heavy neroli kind of scent, but there's enough like powdery iris in there to make it fresh, make it light, and make it smell clean. That that's basically all I get in this one. I might get a little lavender or something like that, but it's just really fresh, really clean, and really powdery. And if you like neroli, it's definitely one that you should try. But like most PDMs, at least on my skin, this one lasts all freaking day. So it's not one of those that's going to be gone in 20 minutes. This one's usually there 6 to 8 hours on me. So Parfums de Marly Galloway. After the gym, it doesn't like run people out if you wear it in the gym, but definitely better after the gym.
Gotcha. Tony, when you were doing your countdown to a purchase, for Parfums de Marly, did you have that in the sampler kit that you got?
Yeah, I tried Galloway. You know what? I really liked it. It reminded me. I don't know if it does that to you guys as well, but sometimes the color of the bottle sometimes create an image of the fragrance along with the smell, and I get that because of the white bottle, and I think because of the smell that goes along with it, I get this sort of clean bed linen, sort of fresh soapy smell from it. Like expensive smoke, it's expensive soap, but almost a bit powdery as well. I get this really clean thing, so I can see that really working, Chris, because I really like that. It's a really interesting and unique fragrance as well. I think there's not anything else I've smelled by any company that smells quite the same as that. It's a great fragrance.
That's probably the one of at least of the PDMs that I wear more than any other during the summer. I mean, me and Hill are working in the grooming band. It's hot, it's sweaty. I wear that one at least a couple times a week during the summer.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, that one I have not tried. I'm
adding it to the list, Brandon.
Yeah, I think when I was in the Parfums de Marly boutique in New York, I don't think that was one that I actually had tried. I was sticking more towards the heavier, the oodier ones like Habdan and Wajan and stuff like that. Jonathan, thanks for joining us, sir. Good to see you.
Hey, Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan.
And hey, Lizzie. Lizzie's in the house. Hello.
Hello.
Lizzie, are you drinking any whiskey? It's World Whiskey Day, and so gotta have some whiskey.
And Tara's getting a shower and then getting some whiskey. So everybody needs some.
She's going to put some Galloway on afterwards.
Exactly.
There you go.
Good.
It's perfect. So am I up or?
I mean, I can go again, or Tony, you got another one?
Yeah, I've got.
Good. I like this trick.
I've got one more. And again, I feel a bit ashamed. I should have picked something like you, Chris, and gone for something. I didn't pick for anything after when I'm going but hey, never mind. I have picked one that is the Dior Cologne Flanker, and it is from Zara, and that is called the Vibrant Leather Summer, and it is a clone of that. Great big 100ml bottle. You can see I haven't used much of it because I got this during lockdown last year, so it's not something that I've been able to wear to the gym a lot. But you get magnetic cap. It's 100ml bottle for something like $10 or something ridiculous.
Wow!
It smells really, really, really good. It's got a really nice grapefruit note in. The atomizer is insane.
Wow!
And it's got quite a sharp. It's quite sharp. It's a lot sharper than the other fragrances I mentioned. But that is really, really good. I could recommend that if anybody wants a cheap gym fragrance, $10-20, 100ml bottle. It smells really good. I like it a lot. Really, really do.
So you said that is a Dior Homme cologne clone?
Yes. So the same as the Mercedes-Benz cologne as well. They do. It's the same. So you could say it's Mercedes-Benz cologne as well. It's the same fragrance effectively. So
gotcha.
That was really heavy on the lemon, right? Lemony.
Yeah, it's got really heavy lemon with it. So that's why it's a lot sharper than the other ones I've mentioned.
Yeah.
But it does work. It cuts through any smells. It really does. And you know what? It bounces off you a lot. So as the skin warms up as well, it's never going to be offensive to anyone, but you're going to smell good. People are going to smell you, but you're not going to offend anybody at the same time.
No, Brandon, at that price, you could just soak your boxing stuff in that. Just
perfect.
Like fire things anyway. Just
spray the inside of the gloves.
Yeah.
Nice. Gross. God. So, all right, I'm gonna pick off my list here. So, I'm gonna do my last two that are lighter because much like what Chris mentioned earlier, I have some kiss my ass frags that I like to wear to the gym. So, one of my regular ones that is an easy grab. It's green. It's cool water.
Nice. Yeah.
And I wore this, a few times when I was a kid, and I had to grab it as part of my collection as like a nostalgia frag, along with my Drakkar Noir and Brut and Old Spice. They're all hanging out on the same shelf together. But this stuff still is pretty legit. Like I sprayed a little spray in my bathroom after I got out of the shower, just to kind of remind myself like what it smelled like. I was like, oh yeah, I should grab that and throw that in the mix. And I sprayed it. And until I put on the Barawanda, this was in my nose the entire time. And I didn't put it on me. I think it just kind of made me a little bit misted. So it's still a legit frag for the people that think that cool water is not legit. You don't have to buy green Irish tweed. Just buy cool water. That's all I'm saying. And then the other one is Mr. Burberry from Burberry. So this I like a lot because it has a lot of minty cedar going on with it. And I know that it's kind of connotates just a slightly darker feel. And it's not bad for going out with, honestly, but at the same time, I think it's a great gym frag because if you got some funk that you can't get to the shower right away, little Mr. Burberry will freshen that right up. For sure. Chris, I'm going to pass it on to you, and then I'm going to go make my second drink. I'll be back.
Okay. Well, since you did a couple, I'm going to do a couple more light, easy-to-wear gym fragrances. First one I'm going to talk about is this one, and this is Clinique Happy for Men. This one is... Yeah, exactly. It's nice, and that's what everybody says about this one. It's citrusy, there's orange, it's green, it's the fucking happy fragrance. You spray it on, you're going to smile. It's really, really
What, Brandon?
Brandon's like a bull in a china shop in his kitchen.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I've got a couple of ballers, Chris. Have you finished with your gym ones? I've got a couple of so if you've got a lot more money than I have, and you want to really ball going to the gym, you want some light, citrusy, fresh stuff that's going to last as well. I'll tell you some great choices.
Okay, let's hear it. Oh shit. Okay, that is the big money, but that is my favorite Roja right there.
Beck sprayed this on before I did the live, and she's like, "That is good."
That one is my favorite. Yeah, I still need a bottle of that, but I really, really need a bottle of that.
So that is a great gym fragrance if you're a bit of a baller and you've got loads of money. Another one. Sorry, I'm not going to take it out. I can't be bothered. But
what's that one?
Let's get it in the cat. It's
yeah,
Renaissance.
1861.
Renaissance is another one. And lastly, I've used all this. I've used what little I had left of it. But Mandarino di Amalfi.
You know, I forgot the expensive one that I was going to say for the gym. Let me grab that one and I'll talk about it. Since you're talking about Xerjoff, what do you think about this one as far as fresh, clean, easy to wear? Xerjoff Mephisto?
You know what? I've never tried it, Chris. I hear really good things about it, and I need to try it.
So everybody goes crazy for Mephisto Gentle Uomo, which is another good fragrance, but I like this one better. This little 30 ml bottle was like $80 or something like that, but it is easily the longest lasting fresh fragrance on my skin. This one, it smells like clean laundry. I mean, it's not going to be anything groundbreaking as far as the smell, but you smell good, you smell clean, and it lasts all day, which none of my fresh fragrances other than Galloway and this one last all day. So,
well, it must be a Xerjoff thing, Chris, because
it must be.
Renaissance does too.
I have tried that one. Hill has that bottle, and I've tried it. It is really, really nice.
Yeah, Elysium lasts really well as well.
Oh yeah.
This one doesn't.
Pulling out the
doesn't is Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Cologne lasts 15 minutes. If all the other ones last half an hour, this is 15 minutes. But it's pure.
Does that not jive on you?
Huh?
That doesn't last very long on you?
No, it does not last on me at all. Especially if I wear it to the gym. I guess I just burn it off and it's gone. Yeah, like 15 minutes and it's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, that the first couple times I wore it, it seemed like it was maybe like 3 or 4 hours, and then I get about six max.
Really?
So yeah, it is pretty light, but I mean it's so light that they don't make it anymore. So,
exactly. I'm worried that's what they're going to do with this one. The fresh.
Ooh, nice.
That one doesn't last very long either, but it also doesn't project. If I wear the normal Spice Bomb to the gym, it projects off my skin, and I feel like I'm going to run everybody out. But this one doesn't do that, but it still has that peppery feel that I want, but it's a smooth peppery as opposed to like a loud peppery.
Nice.
Gotcha. Haven't tried any of the lighter versions of Spice Bomb yet. Well, so I do have one more kind of lighter one, little on the spendier side if you pay full price for it, and that is Soleil d'Italie from Mancera.
Yeah.
So
I almost grabbed it too.
Yeah, kind of typical of the musky, woody, citrus, kind of nice and clean. And honestly, the citruses last a good long time. This is one of those ones where I don't really wear this to the gym, but I could wear it to the gym. I prefer wearing it in the dead ball sweat heat of summer.
Yep.
When it's just terrible out, because it's refreshing. You throw a little on, and oh man, it's nice. It's a good one for hot weather, or if you're working out.
That one is one of Arista's favorite fragrances when I wear it. Anytime I spray that one on, she comes over and gives me a hug and says, "You smell good, Daddy." So it's a good one.
Compliment getter.
Compliment getter, yes.
That's the best.
Now you're just poking holes in my secrets here. Anytime I say I've gotten a compliment, it's most likely from my daughter. So there you go.
Perfect.
It still counts, Chris.
Okay.
What my daughter loves is one my wife loves as well, which is Pineapple Sauvage. And I should have grabbed that because that would work brilliantly for the gym. And I think I've worn it to as well. That sort of Sauvage ambroxine dry down, which will give it a little bit of length and thing. But then that pineapple opening, that's a good one. Aventus would work for the gym as well, I think.
Yeah, true. If it wasn't so bloody expensive.
So that's a story time. So here in Lexington, there's only one perfume shop that sells like really high-end niche perfumes and Creed, MFK, and all those kind of things. So naturally, me and Hill are on first name basis, and talk to the reps there all the time. They've told us that there's one guy who comes in and buys a new bottle of Creed Aventus every couple of months, because every time he goes to the gym, he sprays it all over himself, thinking that that's going to help him pick up women. So
he's got no woman in his life.
He still has no woman after years of doing this, but he still comes in every few months and buys a new bottle. And, you got to admire the dedication.
He got one compliment in the gym 5 years ago from a hot woman, and that's why he does it.
that is so right. That's exactly it. Oh, dude. Oh, that would be. Oh, man. Could you imagine spending $325 or whatever the large bottle price is every couple of months on the same one? It's not even like you're, getting some variety and trying out some new stuff. It's just like, oh yeah.
I mean, you guys know my body in those. You guys know my level of love for Creed Viking. There's no way I would do that. Even for Creed Viking, there's other options. There's no need for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Are you going to buy Creed Viking cologne, Chris?
I have been trying to find, like, all these posts on social media of people getting their bottles and stuff. just aggravate me because I have no way to smell it yet. I'm just like, all right, somebody tell me where I can get this. You know, I've heard nothing but bad things, but everybody gave the regular Creed Viking nothing but shit when it first came out. And I smelled it and wanted it immediately. So, and then now everybody likes it. So the cologne is also getting shit. So I want to smell it for myself.
Well, actually, if I'm not mistaken, I watched Chris's video, Fragmental, and he was a little bit on the fence at first, but then
he liked it.
Yeah. So I mean, I've heard mixed reviews of it too. The first time I smelled Viking, the regular, I went into a boutique in Portland and they had it, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to wait and see when that thing goes on a discounter and get a bottle of that for sure, because all the other Aventuses, or all the other Creeds, I don't dig on too much, you know. But Viking, I'd definitely get a bottle of it.
Well, guess what? Spoiler alert, Chris, it's really good.
Is it really?
It's really good, yeah.
Okay, I'll trust your opinion on it, Tony.
He got it. Did you see his video when he went down to, what is that, King's Cross? Is that another place?
Yes, I haven't bought. That's the video I showed. I've got a sample in. Matt from Question and Sense pulled a sample out and said, I've got about 4 of these samples at home. I bought one with me. And I straight away, because Matt, spoiler alert as well, I don't know if he likes it a lot at all. So I said, well, look, pick one of my samples from Javoy, because I've been dying to try this. Mm-hmm. And if you've got 4 at home, give me this shit. You take a Javoy sample, let me try it. And I sprayed it while I was there, as did a couple of us. And you know what? I really, really like it. The things that people wouldn't like about Viking, they'll like the cologne.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So if you find it a little bit too sharp, is probably a word. The sharp edges have been taken away slightly, Chris. So I'm not sure, as a Viking lover, as the Viking lovers might not like it as much, but people that didn't like Viking before, weren't sure about it, would like it. But it's still got the DNA.
So I'm also I don't like Aventus, like Brandon was saying. I'm not going to shell out the money for that, but I really Aventus cologne. That is one that I would consider paying the money for, because I like that one quite a bit more. So Viking cologne, that one, as soon as they announced it, that one had me excited for sure. So
what Aventus cologne does, Chris, to Aventus cologne, what that does to Aventus is what Viking cologne does to Viking, in my opinion. So
I mean, I'm just gonna end up buying the bottle at retail or something and just selling a kidney, you know. I've got to.
Dude, so the Aventus cologne, like, I tried that out. I did a review of it actually, and it was so fleeting. It was worse than a first. It was worse than a first date. It was like I put it on, and within like 2 hours. I mean, but the thing is that it was beautiful.
So
good. Dude, just gorgeous. Like the opening was so goddamn amazing. I was just like, oh, I want this so bad. And then it disappeared, and I was just like, shit. So I want to try Alexandria's version, because Alexandria tends to kind of amp up what some of the OGs, and I know that a lot of people hate clones, but I'm really, really all about it. Really, really all about it. So I maybe try that out, Chris, for like the Aventus cologne. Try out the Alexandria version to see, because it's cheap. It's cheaper.
I want to buy myself a Creed fragrance. I've not gone full retail on a Creed bottle. I've got lots of good sized decants of different Creeds, and I think Viking cologne will be the first full bottle purchase. Not only do I love the bottle, I really like the fragrance. I seemed to keep getting whiffs of it where I sprayed it on I sprayed a lot that day, and I kept getting whiffs of it off my arm as well. So I think can't 100% confirm that because I haven't tested it fully. I think that's the one for me. I haven't tried it on Bex though, so we'll see.
Well, me, and I will buy a bottle for sure. So, damn it.
I want to talk about how jealous I am, Tony, of that street that you were walking down that had all of those fragrance shops, like down the left, down the right, just down the whole damn aisle. Like it was beautiful.
When you come, you can
we're going there for sure when I get over that way.
You've got Cambridge and we've got London. We'll do both 100%. But in London, you've got two places. You've got the area that we walked through past Regent Street and up to Mayfair. And you see a couple of the stores there. That's just a couple of the stores. If you walk down Covent Garden, you've got all of the more well-known things. So you've got things like Diptyque, Bloom, you've got Tom Ford, a boutique, you've got Chanel boutique, you've got Penhaligon's, it just goes on and on and on in one small area. Great area of London. You'd love it.
Yeah, it looked fantastic. I mean, and the fact you guys were able to go in there and just kind of hang out and have an evening of chilling, that was awesome.
Imagine that with like if COVID not here, you could probably get 20 people in that area quite comfortably, with drinks and fragrance friends and all the fragrances you could try. I mean, I was overwhelmed. There's too much to try. That is a great place to meet. It really is. Unbelievable place. Javoy is number one on. I loved Harrods when I went last year, and I spent all day in Harrods. But the customer service level in Javoy compared to the boutiques that just want to sell you something, and they sense very quickly if you're not going to buy something, and they're very switched off very, very quickly. In Javoy, I think they knew all of us were probably going to buy something, and they gave us, it didn't matter because their customers could come in and go upstairs and we were just left alone, and they came and helped us still. And the brief, this is how good they were. I showed them, they asked me what I liked, and I took a bottle of the Chronic with me. And I said, look, I know this isn't everyone's favorite. It's a bit sweet for some people, but this is my benchmark fragrance of how good I want to smell. Right? What have you got that you think will beat this? And that is a challenge because I haven't been able to do it. And I'm smelling God knows how many fragrances over time. They probably know more than me as well in terms of how much they smell daily. What have you got that smells better than this? And they showed me some great fragrances. They really did. I was super impressed with their customer service and their knowledge as well. So it's not just the location, what's in the store, it's the people in there as well, 100%.
Yeah, you can tell when you go into a shop where there's people are, they're just retail, or if they're lovers of fragrance, you know? Because like there's a shop that's in Portland, and it's one of the, there's only, I mean, you've got, you know, like your big, you know, Nordstrom's and stuff like that, and you've got all those big boutiques and stuff. But like there's some smaller spots that have all of the, they have all of the you know, quote unquote niche stuff. And like Fumery, for instance, in Portland, the owner Tracy, it doesn't matter if you're going to buy anything or you're not. Like she says, well, what are you interested in? Or what do you like? And then she'll grab 12, 15, 20 bottles off of the shelf behind her and lay them all out on the counter, spray them all out, just because she absolutely loves fragrance, you know, and that's the reason why she got into it. And so that's the kind of thing I like to see in a shop, is like, if they love the world of fragrance, they're not just like, I need to make some cash, I need you to buy something. They want to share it, you know? So like, that's awesome.
Yeah. It makes all the difference for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, it's nice too, because like, you know, if you go in, like typically I'll go into Fumery on moments when I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend a little bit of money, or I'm not going to spend some money, and I'll go try something out. But I know that later on down the line, I might buy 1 or 2 bottles depending. So it's like, that's going to be one of my number one shops. Or even like Bellini's in Portland, Bellini's PDX. Same way. Originally it was like a spa. Now it's a spa as well, but then she sells, you know, fragrances. And she's a spaz about fragrances. It's great. Every time I've gone in there to like pick up a purchase or you know, whatever, I'll sit in there for half an hour talking with her about just random stuff about fragrance. It's awesome. It's cool to see people that share that same sort of enjoyment, you know, and you want that in a shop that you're going to spend money at. You want people to kind of enjoy the same stuff that you're enjoying. So yeah, I definitely would love to go there.
The guys I met there, though, they were fantastic as well. Getting to meet Thomas from Ouch 110. You know, when you instantly gel with certain people, there was immediately within, oh God, there was banter flying about all day, and we didn't know, we've never met each other. We've talked, and we talk to Matt from Question and Sense quite often, but I don't talk like I invited Nick Harrison, who he was the guy that Chris talks to and Aaron's talked to that was involved in nightclubs and stuff. And I get on with Nick. I talked to him a fair bit, and I knew that he was a character that would be on my wavelength immediately. If I invited him, we'd get on instantly. And he did. And I took Josh with me, and they were all super, super, super nice with him. Super nice. And he had such a wicked day. I know that if I go in again, or I'm going to meet people in London, and I say to Josh, I'm going to London, he will want to come. Even though it's fragrance related, he will want to come, which for me as a dad, to be able to take your 19-year-old son like to go and see fragrances, it's wicked to me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Dude, he grabbed a baller fragrance for one of his first big purchases. I mean, at that age, I think the biggest thing I had was like Eternity from Calvin Klein, you know what I mean? Or maybe even like a Jovan Musk for Men back in the day. It was just, you know, it was never anything like that awesome.
He's got expensive taste anyway, because when I go out to my garage where I keep all my fragrances, we come down, let the dogs out. That's where we tend to sort of spray before we go out the door. And I smell the chronic being sprayed. It's been sprayed in there. I smell all the fragrances he's sprayed when I've gone in there because they've just been sprayed. And yeah, I know he's not picking out my cheap ones all the time, that's for sure.
Well, that's good though. I mean, that's kind of the nice thing about having a big collection is like some people are just like, oh, do you mind if I maybe come by and take a look at a couple? I'm like, dude, yeah, like I'll give you blotters and you can just have at it, man. Like I'm not trying to hoard this. I'm never going to use all this in my entire lifetime. Please have at it. Let's talk about it for sure. So that's cool. It's good.
Our own little Javoy experience for people that want to come to ours.
Oh, totally.
Which I know it would be if I came to yours, Brandon, or yours, Chris's.
For sure.
The first thing would be like, right, show us your fragrance collection now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When I come over there to the UK, that's definitely gonna be one of the things. It's like, well, let's hang out one night. We'll have some drinks and some dinner, and we'll go through your collection. For sure.
Definitely not take me to dinner before you do that.
Yeah, you have to take you out to dinner first. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, so I've got a couple of fragrances back on the gym frags. So I have a couple that are not light that I wanted to bring to the table on this. So
okay.
One of them I've worn quite a few times, and it actually works with World Whiskey Day as well, and that is Dolce & Gabbana, the one EDP.
Nice.
So I don't know if I haven't heard a lot of talk about this. Heard a lot of talk about this lately, but this is just so easy to reach for. You know, it's a great fragrance. It never smells bad. This was one of the probably one of the first. I mean, I never got into this when I was younger, but this is one of the first bottles that I bought when I kind of started building up a collection. And it's killer. It's killer. And you can wear it to the gym because it's not overpowering. Great for like wintertime gym sessions, or even, you know, cold spring, cold fall. So it's nice. I like that one. Another one that's we're climbing the scale here, and I'm sure you guys will agree. This is one that I wear if I'm in a shit mood and I'm going to push iron. That you know, because I want to feel like I'm in a better mood, And I'll be damned if I care what anybody thinks. As a matter of fact, don't even look at me while I'm pushing iron and stay away from me. Don't touch my station. Just leave me alone. And that is Bulgari's Man Black Orient.
Oh, I love that.
Because this has such a great oody, burnt rubber sort of smell. I don't have a blotter. Damn it, I'm just going to throw it in the air. Yeah, I mean, this thing rocks. Bulgari Man Black Orient as a gym frag, it really does say, just don't talk to me. Because I don't know about you guys, but typically when I work out, I don't really want to be talked to. I just want to do my thing, be left alone, get in my little angry zone, pump heavy metal in my headphones, and just bang out a workout. So
I definitely never want anyone to talk to me while I'm working out, but everybody thinks I would be listening to, some kind of hard music. I'm usually listening to audiobooks. Usually listen to, anything.
Really?
Always listening to audiobooks. Yeah. All the time. At work, at home, at the gym, always. Yeah.
That's why you're getting through them far quicker than me, Chris.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Tony, are you finished with that series yet?
Yeah, no, I've got got 10 hours left of book 4.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I'm getting through a lot slower than you, but I'm really enjoying this one. This is the one where a few of I had to fast forward through a chapter, Chris, the beach chapter.
Yep, I did the same thing. You'll have a few more chapters you have to speed through, but that book I think was my favorite. Probably one of my favorites of the series for sure.
Greatest book, but it's the only book I've fast forwarded through a chapter.
Yeah, it won't be the last chapter you fast forward through. Sorry.
And I'm not even a prude. I was just rolling my eyes.
What's the author you guys are reading right now, or is it audiobook?
Moss, the Court of Thrones series. It starts off as like a young,
I was talking about 50 Shades of Grey.
See, the thing about that one, Tony, I tried to read that and I got so fucking bored after the first book that I didn't read the second one. The Throne of Glass books, at least those were good enough that I finished the series, but there were several chapters that I skipped over for sure. Yeah.
So 50 Shades of Grey you got bored with, and there was millions of housewives across America that were losing their shit. So can your wife walk? I mean,
it wasn't necessarily the content, it was just the way they wrote it was so boring. It's just like, okay, come on, I get what's happening, just move on to the next thing, No, sign any contracts or anything like that. She can walk. She's at the park right now with Arista, so it's fine.
Jesus.
Things. I have no money for a playroom or a red room or whatever it was they called it.
Don't lie. There's probably like a swing hanging from your ceiling you just tucked away. I mean, I don't judge.
The closet. Yeah, in the closet.
I have a swing in there, but I have a slide and I have a climbing frame.
Nice.
But what's the weight capacity? Okay, never mind. Bex is tiny. It doesn't need one, so that's fine.
It's a stone lighter than what I am at the moment. That's what it is.
So I think my last gym frag that I'm going to present is, and this is one that I did that video on, my little introduction to my artsy self, and that's Rook from Rook Perfumes.
Mm-hmm.
So I will, if I'm feeling out of center, I can put this on. I can go to the gym and I can lift, and this is not a proximity safe fragrance. I mean, I don't think everybody will love this, and I honestly don't care, because this is probably one of my top 5 fragrances all time, bar none. And this one brings me back to center for myself. So like if I'm feeling all kinds of funky. I'll throw it on, I'll go to the gym, and I know people can smell it because I've worn this to work before. And I'm a construction worker, so I don't exactly get in massive close proximity. And this hod carrier that I had was like, dude, what's that you're wearing? That shit's awesome. I like that a lot. And he was probably 10, 15 feet away from me. So I'm relatively certain that I've pissed people off at the gym for wearing Rook perfumes because it's bold. It's bold, it's ballsy, it's brassy, and it does not have any apologies whatsoever. So like that's one of my like don't talk to me fragrance for sure.
Seeing Tara's comment there, do try to talk to me while I have my headphones in today. If you've got headphones, there's an international language for people talking to you in the gym. So if someone talks to you and you smile and you're happy to talk, it's you take both headphones out and yeah. One headphone out, the pause button means yeah, fuck off. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Like, because I've got a wireless headset. So, like, if I hit the pause button, I'm like, huh? It really means, oh, you're asking how long I have. And that's it, right? Sweet. Perfect. I got 2 more sets and then click back into it. But yeah, that's nice about headphones. Well, so Tara did, Tara. Did dude continue to talk to you while you had your headphones?
Don't bother, Tony.
Okay, so yeah.
That's what I do, Jonathan. I don't make eye contact with anybody.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I'm trying to figure this out. So Nick, mystery from the book of the game.
The Game.
I don't know that one.
I don't think I've read that one. The Game.
You're going to
Is that the? No, that was there. Is that the one that they made the movie about with hunting humans? The Game, or was that something else? I'm not familiar with that one, but I'm interested.
I'm surprised I haven't gotten any shit from anybody about the hat because I don't typically wear this very often. But
hats suit you, Brandon.
I do like hats. I might have as many hats as I do boots.
Really?
Boots. Yeah. Boots, frags, hats, and whiskey. It's kind of my thing. Oh, Tony's opening it up.
Oh, I want to hear about this, Tony. Let's see. Oh, that's a fancy ass glass too.
Dude, that glass is awesome.
I couldn't tell if that was a glass or some sort of like Asian.
Oh, that is a pour. That is a cheers.
That's like a Chris pour right there. I like it.
Cheers, sir. Cheers.
I'll pour another one just because of that. Hang on.
Dude, seriously, that is a gnarly pour. All right, I am interested in this.
I hope no one takes this the wrong way, but I'm not the biggest pink or whiskey drinker, right? So if I drink this and I make a face of George from the Fragrance Apprentice, don't.
You're still. Never mind.
I'm causing trouble, right?
Oh, smooth then.
That is light. It's really, really good.
It looks very smooth.
I'm not a whiskey connoisseur in terms of I don't explain whiskey the same as I would explain fragrance. Some would argue that's not very well either. It is smooth. It's a little bit fruity. It's got that, like I said earlier when I smelled it, it's got that slight Christmassy feel to it because of the dried fruit. But it has got this sweetness to it, definitely. It's not like sweet. It's still whiskey. It's very peaty still, but it's got this hint of sweetness. I like it.
Peaty and raisiny. That sounds like right up my alley. That sounds good.
It's good. Like it. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
World Whiskey Day for sure.
That is great. I wish I can't. I don't know. I don't think I told Kev about the live stream. It would have been great to have him on because I know he's drinking some whiskey tonight.
I think what's helped there, I have had the ice in the glass since the beginning of the stream.
So water it down a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, that does open it up a lot.
Yeah, it's opened it up immediately, and it's not too heavy at all. I could get quite drunk on that quite quickly, I think. It's quite easy to drink. Definitely.
Perfect.
We got a few minutes. I mean, that's fine.
Definitely. So yeah, Nick, this hat, I wore this when I went on tour with my band back in the day, and this was my stage hat. It was in very good shape when I first got it. It had 3 spikes at the top and a couple more buttons. And yeah, I took this on my first and only music tour of the West Coast that I went on with my old band. And yeah, I think I'll probably have this hat until I die. I might even get burned in this hat because this hat has seen some shit. Like, if this hat could talk, it would probably cut its own tongue out. I mean, oof, crazy times in this hat. It's good times. I love it.
Does that hat like country music?
What's that?
Does that hat like country music?
Does the hat like country music? I would say the hat likes Johnny Cash. I wouldn't say it likes country music.
I was going to say the hat likes tits, but okay, whatever.
Okay, you wore the shirt, and we can't even see the whole shirt.
I mean,
there we go. So the reason why I love that so much
is because it's true.
Well, no, it's because I went axe throwing last weekend. Dan
oh,
and I
nice.
we went axe throwing last weekend, and we started off with just the hatchets, and then I grabbed the big double hander. It didn't have it wasn't a 2-headed axe, but it was it was the bigger
longer
axe.
half.
So yeah, so I mean, it was Either way, both were fun to fucking throw. So.
Americans do so many more masculine things in the UK. I was picking out. You're throwing axes and firing guns, Bungle. I'm picking out what moisturizer to wear.
Oh, don't let it fool you, my friend. If you saw my cabinet in my kitchen, in my bathroom, I have been a Metro moisturizing sumbitch for well over a decade and a half. I mean,
and it shows.
I'm 43 years old. There's a reason why my skin still looks pretty decent in being an outside construction worker, because I do not want to fall apart and I don't want skin cancer. So I take care of my shit, that's for sure. So yeah, no, I pick out the moisturizers. It's cool. It's totally cool.
That'll be the topic of another stream. I think we all moisturize.
Oh yeah, dude, that would be hilarious. Frags, whiskey, and self-care.
We're complex men, okay? I spent most of my morning chopping up a tree in my backyard, and then most of my afternoon playing Barbies with Finn and Arista. So we're complex.
Yep, perfect. That is the perfect dichotomy of what it means to be a frag head. For sure.
I'm going to have to go more people in the face to feel more masculine, I think, now. Only thing that made me masculine in my life, and I can't do it. You're not allowed to spar or do anything at the moment. So fingers crossed soon. Fingers crossed.
Well, I was going to say, because you're a boxing sumbitch, so that's pretty goddamn masculine.
I need that back. I need it back.
Oh yeah, for sure. There is a certain amount of as guys. I don't think we talk about this as much as we should. There's a certain amount of we have to get back to doing the things that make us feel centered as a guy. And that was kind of part of the whole thing about the Rook perfumes thing. Was there's certain things that you do that make you feel, comfortable in your shoes as a guy, as a dude. And it's hard to sometimes get back to that spot because of the fact that, we typically like to keep our mouths shut about where we're at in the world. We just put our noses to the grindstone. Not everybody. Again, this is kind of a generalization, I suppose. But for me, I was I keep my nose to the grindstone. I bust my balls every day. Just do what I need to do. And it wears on a person. you know, we'll just say a person in general. But women, I feel like, are way better at recognizing that they need to, you know, take some time for themselves, and they need to get back to what it is to be like themselves. And guys, we're just way too stubborn. You know, we're too stupid about it. We're just like, nah, no, I'm fine. Shit, I'm fine. I'm just gonna keep going. Keep going. Brr. You know, and it's dumb. You know, because we just we work our asses off as much as we can, and we, you know, shoulder shit too much sometimes, and we don't necessarily get back to it. I mean, some guys like to go fishing, some guys like to go hunting, some guys like to go out in the woods, some guys like to go shoot guns, some guys like to, you know, throw axes, some guys like to play golf, some guys like to mow the lawn, do lawn care, you know, some of us like to, you know, get into into fragrances and stuff like that. So I think that's one of the things I love about fragrances is that it's like, this is something that makes, you know, for me, it makes me centered and happy. So it's like an artistic expression. This is good shit, you know. I think most dudes just need to figure out where their dude spot is.
The dude spot, it's like the G spot, but for a dude. I completely agree with you there.
Yeah. And you know what? For me, I don't do many masculine things. I'll be honest. I drink drinks. I'm quite a metrosexual male, I would say, but I think the ring is probably the only place that I feel like I'm a man.
Yeah.
And you know what? And especially if you're doing well in there as well. If you've got control and you're owning it, and that to me, I miss that so much. And you feel comfortable with knowing that anybody like you guys, let's get in the ring and we'll not fight. It doesn't feel like a fight to me. That's the thing as well. It feels like I'm sparring people that are usually helping people that aren't as good as me. And I don't mean that in a good way. I'm not the best. There's people, I'm not amateur pro, but there's levels and there's always people so much better than you. But the people I'm in the ring with, I'm helping people. So you're not in there to beat people up. You're in there to give a good account of yourself. And that's just my place where I just feel so much. That's where I feel that my masculinity shows. And Bex has got pictures of me like getting out of the ring, and I've had my nose bust, and even now I can't breathe. I can't breathe properly when I go to sleep anymore, and I'm getting out, and I've got sweat all over me with blood all over my shirt and stuff like that, and like that is masculine, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
In my spare time, I'm talking about fragrance.
Well, I think that's the thing too. Is there's a certain amount of things. Things used to be when I was younger. You get in a row with someone, you might have a disagreement. You get in a little bit of a fight. You beat a guy's ass. You pick him up. You buy him a beer, and you become friends afterwards. You know, and now shit just gets so confused that everybody wants to pull a knife. They want to pull a gun. And so it's hard to kind of have that expression of, that scrap thing going on. But, like Hobby's saying, some guys like to review frags. It's exactly it. Like part of my, what makes me feel whole and centered is I like to create. I like to make things. I like to make art. For years it was music. And then later on, I still love doing music, but, then I've done some painting. I've done, and then now with the YouTube thing, I like to make these videos that are, I'm never going to be, a Redolescence or a Fragmental, I don't think, because not everybody's going to get what I want to do with my YouTube stuff. It's all going to be very artistic weird shit, which I'm totally fine with, like doing that for myself, because that's what makes me happy, and so I think with being into fragrances, it's like I don't think that there's there was never a mistake in finding that in yourself, like finding that olfactory, intellectual, emotional connection. There was never a mistake in that. Like that was a purpose for like certain people. Not everybody's going to get it. Not everybody's going to be like, oh, I smell this. And I remember this vacation that I took with my wife and our kids, and it was amazing. And I guess I go right back to that spot and my heart's full. Not everybody's going to feel that. You know, some people are going to be like, oh, that smells good, bro. Like you should wear that so that you can get some girls. You know, and that's totally fine too. But like, yeah, it's great to see. You know, I love to see the fragrance thing where people are like, it's their niche. You know, it's like it's their jive for sure. You know, and I dig that what Hobby's saying about some guys like to review frags, because whatever makes you centered is good. Whatever makes you feel balanced is a good thing for sure.
I know I'm not the only one waiting for these more stop motion, fragrance review videos from you, Brandon. And Garrett says that I should ask you to paint me like one of your French women. So
nice. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that stop motion shit was a pain in the ass.
I bet.
Dude, I spent one night, like for 3 hours, I was hopped up on vodka and Red Bull. And like from like 9 to
3 hours.
Yeah, it was like from 9 to midnight. I took 187 photos. Just like tink, 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 just moving shit. And I'm like I was inspired. So I don't know if anybody who's watching this, I don't know if you guys know Stop Talking About Fragrance at all. He has a YouTube channel. He has an Instagram channel. And Gino is amazing graphic artist, like the stuff that he does. He did a bunch of the videos for Mr. Oz's fragrance line. He did the Proxima. Did you guys see the Proxima video with the UFO and stuff? He did that.
Yeah.
The guy is a genius. So like that's kind of where I got the idea. I was just like, I'm never going to touch his ability, but I'm going to play around with it just a little bit. And I was just like, dude, I don't know if I'll ever do that again or not.
You definitely should. I mean, in my mind, creativity trumps, polish. So, your content and your creativity trumps your finishing skills, in my mind. So I thought yours was great, and I can't wait to see the next one.
Thanks. Yeah, I need to tap him and find out. There's got to be a streamlined way to edit that shit, because dude, every photo when I plug it and play it into Filmora, it's 5 seconds. Like I don't know if you guys have ever used photos when you're doing editing on any like video stuff, but it automatically, the length of it is 5 seconds, and that's not what you need for a nice. For whatever reason, I have to go into each one and click and do this and then shorten the distance, shorten the time on it.
There's no way to set a default insert picture setting?
Not that I know of yet, because I'm still exploring Filmora.
Gotcha.
The wonders. Yeah. Dude. Like every photo, 187 times. Click. Delete. ... Right. Accept. I mean, dude, it took so fucking long. It was a little exhausting, but it was still fun. It was kind of cathartic.
And you know what? As Chris said, like the polish things, we're not video editors. We've had to learn this. So they are things that we aspire to learn. That's where we look at people like Chris, and we look at these people that are just so polished at doing these things, and we think, we need to get to that level. But one thing we've got to remember, we don't do it full time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting reminded that of Bex, because I've got such high aspirations for what I want to do with my stuff. It's almost impossible with my time limits I've got. It really is almost impossible. And I have to remind myself, and Bex is very good at grounding me and going, hold on a minute. You're working 50, 60 hours a week. You've got your family to think about.
Yeah.
you've got this hobby, but it is a hobby. You need to realign your expectations to where is right. So don't beat yourself up about not getting to the levels of someone like Chris, because that is unattainable for someone that hasn't got the time to do it effectively. So
absolutely, yeah, it's definitely one of those things. Yeah, like you're saying, is it's if you can't devote that much time into that situation, it's not easy. And balancing stuff. I know that, like, you know, in the past, my relationship with Dana has suffered because of the fact that I spend time with the YouTube stuff. And so, like, for me, it's like I want to balance this growth in this relationship that I'm in, but I've got to bust my ass as a foreman for the company that I work for, and I devote so much time in my brain to that. And then I also have this house that, you know, I got to take care of and do upkeep and all this stuff. And then it's like, in the meantime, try to do a video every once in a while. And like, I can't pump out videos. Like I'm so jealous of Barry, because like that guy is a machine. Like he pumps out at least 3 videos a week, you know? And I'm just like, God, Barry, you are on it. Like I don't know that I could do that. You know, I don't know that I could devote that, you know, much time to it in my current situation. And it's
Barry, it's a little, I don't think he'll mind me saying this, but he's working from home at the moment, and you've got if you've got the kids that have then gone to school, and he's working nights, and then they've gone to school, and you've got up at a certain time and they're at school, you've maybe got that a little bit of time where you can then, right, let's get my filming out the way and then get on with the other stuff I got to do. So Barry just finds a happy medium of where he can create enough content and push that out and keep the family and the work happy as well. You've got to go out to work, Brandon. You've got to go to a different place of work all the time. And it is difficult to be at home, and you can't do it at work. I can't do it at work. I can't find the time to go out on my lunch break in my car. I have done it in the past. I cannot find that hour to go out in the car and think, I'm going to shoot a 20-minute video in my car and edit it down to 10 minutes. Because I should be able to find that time. We're all entitled to a lunch break. But in reality, I can't. So,
yeah, you gotta eat for sure. You know, and
cake comes first. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's kind of the thing too. Is, you know, like I did a list. God, was it? It might have been one of my fall lists this last fall, and I ended up doing a cut like on the job site. I was just like, this would be fun, you know, and it was fun as hell to film, and it was really fun to edit, and it just felt really good because it was a little bit different. But it was like, I can't do that all the time. I can't, like, I'm kind of surprised my boss didn't see that and light my ass up about it a little bit, because he's subscribed to my channel. So I was kind of surprised he didn't light my ass up, but you know, it was fine. It was fine. So, but yeah, exactly. Like finding the time, sometimes it's just rough as shit, but you know, it makes us happy, right? And plus there's Saturdays with the boys now.
Exactly. There you go.
Look at the friends we've made.
Dude. Absolutely. Like it's really funny too, because like with the whole fragrance thing, like I've always been into frags, and I've always been, you know, had this kind of weird thing with my sense of smell and all that stuff. But it wasn't until I was getting divorced and kind of like trying to refigure out my place in the world at that time, and that I stumbled onto FragCom. And then stumbling onto FragCom, it was just like, oh, there's a bunch of people that think like me. This is fucking great. This is fantastic. That's nice. Yeah. So it's been really awesome. Here we go. So there we go. Yeah, IG. So I wanted to talk about that, Tony, since I've got you on the line here. So you've blown up quite a bit you crested 2K on your YouTube channel.
Nice.
And
Wait, congrats.
what are you at, like 2.2 now, something like that? And somewhere around there. And you've got a huge Instagram. You've started doing Instagram lives. So what first of all, how I wanted to find out, like, what level do you have to be at Instagram to do the whole swipe up thing in the stories to find the link? Do you get like 1K subscribers?
10K.
10K?
10K, yeah.
Oh, I'm never gonna get there.
You know,
800.
Damn.
for me, running that along with the, I'm glad you've mentioned Instagram on this show, because for me, I think everybody that knows me knows the passion. Instagram for me is the place where I spend most of my time. It's taken over from what I've been doing on Instagram, being honest. And I lost on YouTube, and I've lost a little bit, not lost the passion, but finding the time to do both is difficult. And
You can see that.
taking the time to try and grow an Instagram page takes a bit of research and a bit of effort. And it's difficult. You can see from stats what people have done as well. It's very transparent that if you've bought people and stuff like that, for me, it's consistency. With YouTube, I cannot be as consistent. It takes a lot of time to film, edit, upload. With Instagram, I can post a photo every day. There was one I posted this evening of my alien picture for Bex. I was in the garage for 5 minutes doing that, just taking the pictures. It took me longer to edit. It took me half an hour to edit. It then took me another half an hour to make the post. So it does take a bit of time. But I've got a routine with it. I found a routine with it. Every morning I take my son to work. I take my picture. I go to work. I upload it in the car park before I'm due to start work. I share it to the group chats I'm in. And then I go to work. And then I can forget about it for a while. And then when I'm on my lunch or I'm on my break or I'm in the evening, I can respond to the Instagram content.
That's a good way to do it.
So I can drop in and out of it a lot. And then when I get to the evening, if I feel like I need another post or so I spend a lot of time. I research hashtags. I do a lot. I really do. People don't see the work. I don't necessarily put a long review out on Instagram. That is where my YouTube outlet's for me personally. I personally won't write a long Instagram review. I will do that on YouTube. But in terms of taking a photo, the photography part of it has really, really piqued my interest in that community. And I've met a lot of good people through doing that as well, to be honest. And I'm part of quite a few group chats now that we support each other and you help push each other's posts. And that's a big key to how successful one post is. And you multiply that by doing that every day, it grows. It grows. And I get a lot more in terms of content and brands contacting me, which I would never have wished in my wildest dreams would have happened. Through Instagram, that's happened. And it wouldn't have happened if I'd stayed with YouTube. Concentrate on YouTube. So in terms of people contacting me and saying, would you do this and would you do that? Would you? It's not really that. I get a lot of, if we gift you that, they're not asking really for anything in return. I don't really owe anything. I don't approach any brands. I've never approached one brand and said, can I even have a sample? It's people contacting me and saying, have you tried our stuff? No. Okay. Would you like to try a discovery set, or is there a bottle that interests you? Yeah. Well, this bottle, and we've got that sort of mutual contact that I will post some photos for the bottle, and that creates my content without spending God knows how much money all the time. That, for me, would never have happened. You know how hard it is for YouTube branding as well. You know. You've been doing it for, I think, longer than I have. It's so tough to grow. and push through. I found with Instagram, with that same effort put in, I've been able to grow. So I'm addicted to it. I really am.
Yeah.
And being honest, I spend far too long on it. It does eat into family time, which is not right, really.
Gotcha.
But it's grown to a point now where I can't turn back. I need to move it on, because it could lead to other stuff later with social media, for example. Who knows?
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, that's kind of what's really funny is like
sorry to have waffled there, by the way.
But no, absolutely no. That's great. Like, because like the animal that it is like, it can create opportunities in a way that were really never possible. I mean, let's like look back at like the 80s, the 90s, and everything that you were doing to be successful was all about, you know, being a creative person wasn't very successful for decades. The height of creativity and success was like the Renaissance period, you know, as far as artistry and stuff like that. If you go back into like history, going into, you know, anywhere from like the 50s to like the 90s, you had your artists, of course, you know, 80s, 90s, that sort of a thing. But it's never ever been like a way for people to explore their creative side and still be able to have that be functional as far as a career or a way to, because I mean, let's be honest, life is all about an exchange. And it's an exchange of hours or time for goods and services, you know. Yep. And that's what money is. Money is like you go out, you throw in, you put 587 bricks in a wall, and you get paid this much money for that day. Then you take that money and you go, well, those 8 hours that I worked, I was not able to go out and hunt or fish. So I have to go buy the fish or the cow. Here's the money that I spent, that I made. Here's the money that I made while I was doing this. And it's all this big exchange. And being able to actually have your creativity be a part of a way that you can provide for yourself and your family is, I mean, that's awesome. I mean, because who doesn't want to be able to do what they love, you know? Because you're just like, oh yeah, I'm going to paint a picture. Oh, I'm going to pay you $50,000 for that picture. Are you serious? You give me $50,000 for this picture? It's like, yeah, shit, take the picture, $50,000. And I don't have to do anything. I can research my feelings about this thing that will allude to a new photo or a new picture or a new video or a new whatever. So, I mean, it's an interesting time that we're living in because of the ability to create ourselves or express ourselves, creatively, and actually have that be a part of, you know, what we're doing. And it's not even that it has to make money. It's just because, again, money is a way of exchanging your time, so we can feel fulfilled just by taking a photo and putting it on. Like, here's this fern out in my backyard against this sycamore tree right now. I'm going to take this photo in a certain light, and I'm going to put it on Instagram, and 800 people are going to like it. 75 people write a comment and they say that was an amazing photograph. That is an exchange of energy. That's people like recognizing what you did, and all you really did was just express a part of yourself. So it's kind of,
that's addictive as well. It's that part of it is quite addictive. That's what social media is, isn't it? In essence, it's that exchange. You know what? It's one of those things for me as well with Instagram. It's never about, and this whole journey is never about chasing any money. I earn my money from my job. I work full time. I earn fairly decent money from what I do. I don't need to earn money from the fragrance community or what I do. But what it's doing for me the way I see it as an escape is with car sales, I'm working weekends, I'm working 50, 60-hour weeks. The way I see this is, could I eventually not make a living? That's not what I'm asking from it, but could I build a CV to allow me to enter another industry which I could earn a living from? And that's not necessarily from my page or from what I'm doing there. But if I've built something that I've put all my energy and effort into, that for me is a CV. That is something that I have created, I have done with all my hard work and effort. Could I then enter into that industry based on that CV? So I don't think a lot of people understand that. They maybe think I want to be an influencer or I want to earn money from this. It's not about that for me. It's about, could this lead somewhere? And it's not necessarily, it's not making money from my page. It's could I, for example, Clemence is entered social media as a result of what she does. She worked for a fragrance company. She now works for a social media company, creating similar content to what she would create on her own page.
Yeah.
And that's been as a result of her doing what she's done, which is great. Could I leave the industry I'm in, work my hours, work when I want to work, and do something I love doing? And this is a way for me, especially with Instagram, of me, can I achieve that? Now, it might not be now, it might not be in 5 years' time, but is it achievable? And that's what I'm working towards. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I'm quite open and honest about it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, because like, you know, I'm always like project oriented, and before I, you know, started doing YouTube and stuff like that, when I was still married, I was distilling, and I was making my own whiskey, and I was making my own rum and that sort of thing. And I was opening a distillery. I was ready to open a distillery. And, you know, it was one of those things where it's like my boss now, right when I was in the middle of divorce and his father had passed away, who was the original owner of the company, he literally kind of asked me, he was like, you know, he tried some of my whiskey. He was just like, this is really good. This is like really good. Are you going to stay, or are you going to go be a distiller? You know, and I was just, my whole thought process was, well, I mean, I can stay, you know, for sure. I mean, the distillery didn't work out, so that kind of was a bust. But like for me, I can retire at the age of 55 with a full pension and the whole nine. But I'm not going to stop being me at that point. I'm not just going to go to Florida and, you know, just hang out in an apartment all the time and not do anything. Like I'm a doer. For me, like I've got to create. And so this whole start with the YouTube thing is like a beginning of like, who knows what'll happen. But at the same token, like I can't walk away from what I have built for 24 years
right,
as a Mason. I can wait 11 more years and retire. And then, you know, who knows what happens after that. So yeah, I totally understand that. It's like you build something. You know, who knows what it's going to be.
You're building something different, aren't you? But we're still building something to get those.
Exactly. It's it is great. I mean, holy shit. I mean, so how many followers do you have on IG?
all of them.
All of the followers?
All the followers, everyone on IG.
13,000 now. And
holy shit.
And
I mean, I'm a couple of them.
That is a lot of people.
Yeah, you know what? It's unreal, really. Especially that the the interactions there as well. It's not just the followers. It's like when you post a post, you've got interaction, and that's huge. You can have all the followers in the world, but if there's no interaction or no one's interested in your content, it doesn't mean anything. But I seem to have a fairly decent level of interaction along with it. So it's it's something that interests me, and I think it's a big part of it is just consistency. It really is. You've got to put aside that little bit of your day to post and interact as well. It's huge. And if you don't post or interact, you won't grow. It's quite a simple formula, really.
That's the absolute truth. I've noticed that, like with YouTube, I had this point where I was like 2 videos a week, and I was on the steady incline, and then I started lagging, like no post for like 3 weeks, stuff like that, and it drops. And I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, yeah, you really have to, like, I think Brian and you were talking about it, like you really just gotta, with IG, you just have to put in the work, and that's part of it. Is sometimes you just gotta put in the work.
I think I talk to Brian a lot as well, but we've been on a very similar trajectory on Instagram, and we get each other in terms of we're on a similar wavelength with each other with what we agree with and what we don't, and we're not going to post ourselves as the same people on there, but we post very different content as well, I think. But
oh yeah, definitely.
But we've got a similar level of following. And what I would say about Brian compared to me, he's work in terms of the interaction. And the same goes for John as well, by the way. I think I put a good amount of interaction in, but those guys far outweigh what I can afford to do with my life. It's crazy where it could go, but we'll see. I mean, I think I'm slowing down a little bit on there now, and I think I've reached a level where I've got all the normal Fragcom followers, and now where am I going to get the extra people from? I'm going to have to come a bit more creative with certain things, and maybe post different things to just fragrances all the time. The odd post is going to have to go in there about different things to grab more people in. But hey, it's
all you got to do is wear a white bikini thong, Tony, like Jeremy does, and you're going to be fine. The followers will come in droves. If you wear it, they will come.
I have your PayPal, Tony. I will send you money in PayPal.
I think what I need is I need to jump on a table and make a video go viral.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please do. Please do.
Yeah, well, the world loves a train wreck, and
so do I.
I love Jeremy because he was literally the first fragrance reviewer that I started watching. It all started from a best fragrances to wear Google search, and then this guy comes on and he tells me all these different ones, and from that Carlos came, Stephen, Chris, and then from Chris, Steve from Frags to Riches, so it was like all these different people, but like watching his progression from this, just like, oh, that motherfucker's rocking that suit. Like, I appreciate the hell out of that because I love wearing a suit. And I was like, oh, he's rocking that suit. I appreciate that. And then now it's like, okay. Oh, okay. So you're pretending to be gay to get out of a rape charge. Or, all the stuff that's going on with him, like, I'm not going to down the guy. Like, I mean, he's doing what he's got to do. It's just interesting to see his kind of progression. Like, the guy's climbed to crazy heights, but yes, progression. Yes.
Uh-huh.
What I find with Jeremy's been very successful. Let's not hide from it. And what I find with a lot of people, I find it very, very intriguing how much is put on what he's on. like a bit of a.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah,
I can almost tell. I can almost guarantee you that he knows what he's a smart dude. He knows what he's doing. He's doing. Part of it is he's not bashful. You know, like he goes out there. Some of his earliest videos where he's going out there and interacting with the crowd and doing this breakdance and shit. It's like, okay, the guy doesn't have a problem with like putting on a spectacle to get some attention. He knows what he's doing. He totally knows what he's doing.
But then we've heard, you've been in a similar room to him, Brandon. We've heard that he's also very sort of toned down and quite a little bit shy almost when people talk to him, when other reviewers talk to him and stuff. So I do wonder how much of himself he's giving into it and what isn't him, if that makes sense.
True.
Create content and create money and create something that's growing. How much of himself is part of that and how much isn't? And I do wonder that. I think he's a lot cleverer than people think he probably is. But
Smart
one
guy.
you get, and you know what? I wouldn't mind him watching. I know he wouldn't. I wouldn't mind him watching any of us and seeing this and hearing this. I think he needs a lady in his life. I think he needs some love.
I agree, Tony. He does.
That's true.
He does, and I think he needs something to ground him a little bit, and I think go back to what is important and where he started with the fragrance community. I think he needs a good lady in his life, is what I feel personally.
Or man, if you watch his recent videos, he may be a man.
True. Somebody to ground him a little bit for sure. Yeah,
there you go.
He needs some love. That's what he needs.
Yeah, someone to call him on his shit. That's for sure. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to put a stop to this wonderful, wonderful live stream. I've had an amazing time, mostly just because I have to go to the bathroom. I would like, if you two gentlemen want to hang out backstage after I get back, I'd love to continue some talking and hanging out, if that's okay with you boys. Everybody that has watched this video, super appreciate. Hey, Rista. Hey.
Say hi.
Super appreciate you guys coming by, watching episode 4 of the Kilted. There will be more. I've got a little bit of an idea about bringing some whiskey drinking ladies into this thing. Want to talk about, I think maybe the next. I haven't discussed this with my cohort yet, but I had this idea of maybe gender and fragrance and people that like whiskey that aren't, because let's be honest, stereotypically everyone's like, oh, it's just dudes that like whiskey, you know. Women drink champagne or they drink wine. It's a total crock of shit. So that might be our next topic. So I think for now, everybody have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Thank you guys so much for watching. And Tony, thank you so much for joining us. I've had such a great time. And gentlemen, I'm going to let you say some goodbyes.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Arista is now 5 years old. She had a birthday this week. So do you want to everybody say hi and bye? Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for having me on, Brandon and Chris. It's been, you know what, how many hours, like, without family could we have spent talking about drinks and fragrance, and it feels like, to me, this is why I love these streams. It feels like an afternoon in the pub with the gents to me. So thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it, and sorry I waffled a lot, as I always do.
Oh no, it's been awesome. This has been a
we
great
love
live stream. Yeah, super excited. All right, everybody. Barry's in the house. Barry, just missed it. Barry, cheers, Barry. We're gonna go ahead and end this here at 2:15. So again, everyone, thank you so much. Be on the lookout for episode 5. Maybe in 2 weeks, we might try to amplify this a little bit. So hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend. Love you guys. Thanks for coming by.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye, everyone.